The New York Knicks made a trade with the Dallas Mavericks about 2 years ago. This was the trade. The Knicks received DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith Jr., Wesley Matthews, an unprotected first-round pick, and a unprotected 2023 first-round pick. They have an unprotected 2021 and 2023 first-round pick. The Mavs received Kristaps Porzingis, Trey Burke, Courtney Lee, and Tim Hardaway Jr. So I think it's all safe to say the Knicks only got DSJ and these two first-round picks from this trade, and Dallas got Porzingis, Hardaway, and that's it. Because Trey Burke left and came back, so I don't think that really counts. So, I mean, to this point, Porzingis has not been New York Porzingis in Dallas yet. And just to be fair, that offseason when the Knicks signed Julius Randle, I said Julius Randle was better than Kristaps Porzingis. This year, he's been proving me right.
Wait.
Last year, Julius Randle was...
No, add in the middle. I flipped my pick and said Porzingis was better, and now you're flipping back. Yeah, now you're flipping back.
I thought what Julius Randle's doing this year, I thought he was going to do last year. That's why I called him better at the moment. Now he's doing his thing. You know, I think it's safe to say Julius Randle has been playing better than Kristaps Porzingis. But the question is, do you think that the Knicks to this point have been winning this trade? Because right now, that 2021 first-round pick is top 10 in the lottery. The Knicks could currently get a top 10, top 5 pick. You know, maybe it goes to number 1 with that Dallas pick because they've been playing so bad. So, in hindsight, who do you think won or lost this trade?
I think the deal as a whole, Dallas was banking on Porzingis being healthy, and I think that was always going to be the risk. Can Porzingis be healthy? He hasn't been healthy. I mean, we saw him in the bubble play against the Clippers. He was really playing well, got hurt. He comes back this year. He hasn't. They've kind of turned him into like a spot-up shooter. They kind of did what they did to Laurie. Yeah, like what they did to Laurie in Chicago kind of just made him a guy who just stands out there and chucks up threes. But I think with his frame, he's not really going to post up anybody. He's not quick on his feet like he used to be. So it's like even like against the Warriors, you see him getting exposed on the wing. Like he couldn't guard wings. He was getting exposed a lot. So this, in a sense, if Dallas doesn't make the playoffs, and if the Knicks gets another lottery pick and they make the playoffs, that would be great because now you have the success of making the playoffs. So now free agents are looking at the Knicks as a landing spot, and you bringing in a lottery pick and a loaded draft. I think you can't say the Dallas Mavericks won the trade because it's not like they got a championship out of this. They didn't even get a playoff series win out of this trade. So if all this plays into part, I think you can say the Knicks won the trade. Still early, but as of right now, the Knicks are definitely winning.
Yeah, and I'm agree with that. Right now, I would say like the Knicks are winning because best ability is availability. You could have LeBron James on your team. If he's hurt, what does that do for you? You know, so I do think that if the Knicks, like Riv just said, if everything goes well and they get the picks they want and the guys they want, they should definitely win this trade.
See, for me, I'm super ecstatic that this is happening because about a year ago, a Dallas Mavericks fan pulled up one of my old tweets talking about the Mavericks and how they were not gonna be anything after this trade regardless. And I had the Mavericks Twitter just completely ambushed me from all directions. I'm getting hate tweets. I'm getting, a bunch of my tweets popping up on the TL. And then a year later, I wish I could figure out whose account added me because I could add them back. But this is the thing. The Dallas Mavericks, I think to an extent, they overachieved last year, even though I think they were phenomenal. We'll talk about the Dallas Mavericks later on in this show, and then, I'll go more in depth. But when talking about the Mavericks, I just feel like Kristaps Porzingis was never that post-up player. He was always a face-up player, and he was always kind of a spot-up shooter, even with the Knicks.
You don't think early in his career he was having his back to the basket a little bit? Maybe his rookie year?
No, I think he was more of a face-up guy, but he wasn't a guy that was going to pummel you in the post and try to get buckets like that. He was always a perimeter-oriented big man. That's what he was.
And his defense was always kind of questionable.
And the only reason why the Knicks were going to lose this trade is because we all expected Dallas was going to get a potential superstar on Kristaps, and these picks were going to be worthless. They were going to be like in the bottom 20.
Yeah.
But Riv, I won't even talk about what you talked about. What if the Knicks don't make the playoffs? I hope they don't, because now you got two lottery picks, the Dallas one and the Knicks one. What if with the Dallas one you get a top 5 pick and you have the opportunity to draft Jonathan Kuminga,
Hold
Cade
on.
Cunningham,
No, he's
Jalen
done.
Green, or Jalen Suggs, or Evan Mobley.
No, he's done. He's done. I remember we was talking about the Knicks one time, and I said I don't think they should make the playoffs because this draft is so loaded. He literally said on here, "You're a fool for thinking that way," and now you're talking about you want that to happen. Yo, this guy is crazy.
No, I'm saying no. I didn't say I want that to happen. No, I said what if it does.
So right now, as a, I guess, Knicks fan, what do you want them to do?
I want them to be as competitive as they can be. And I want them to finish off the season as strong as they can finish it. But I'm just saying, potentially having 2 lottery picks and one of the most stacked draft classes that we've seen in a while. And to be fair, the last couple of draft classes have been stacked. But if the Knicks can potentially draft a Jalen Green, a Kuminga, a Cade Cunningham, a Jalen Suggs with this Dallas pick, then I think, if these players turn out to be as good as, we think they are going to be, the Knicks won this trade, no doubt.
Definitely
because
a good start.
Yeah,
Kristaps Porzingis coming off an ACL injury in New York, going to Dallas, and then having knee surgery after the bubble, there's a lot of question marks about Porzingis.
If the Mavericks somehow make playoffs this year, then that pick would just be like a...
They would just be, like 15 or 20 around there, depending on how far they go in the playoffs.
I agree. I think even if, looking at the Mavericks losing and if the Knicks don't make the playoffs, even if they get a play-in, I think that's still a lottery pick.
Yeah, because you technically don't make it.
Yeah, so it's like sneaking in and possibly getting hypothetically getting two top 5 picks.
I guess it's best.
You're getting potentially 2 superstar changing guys, so that's going to be a jump start in their rebuilding process, and I think that'd be a huge get. And I think Dallas, Mark Cuban, we can trust him. He's going to make moves. He's going to get that team back.
Money man, he knows.
I think we all thought Porzingis was definitely a top 15, top 20 talent in the NBA.
I mean, he is.
Yeah, I think we still believe in him, but I think just the injuries to him and how they've been inconsistent, I think the team is definitely regretting that Josh Richardson trade. I think they've been bad on both ends, offensively and defensively with him.
Showing no effort.
The 3-point, they've dropped in 3-point percentage. They're not the best that they was last year. They've dropped in damn near every offensive category this year. And mind you, this is with Luka playing phenomenal. But it's just like I think this team as a whole isn't the same fun, exciting offense as it was last year.
I agree.
And Porzingis isn't helping that cause.
I mean, we'll talk about Dallas later on in the show, but I'll just say it here. If you guys want, when the segments are out, you guys can go to the Dallas segment. But I'll just give you guys a sneak peek, and I'll tell you guys my thoughts right now. I think that Kristaps Porzingis isn't being utilized correctly. And the answer to his struggles is not posting up like a lot of people think it is. I just think he is being used wrongly. And Steven Silas going to Houston and leaving that coaching staff is affecting him more than people think.